Welcome to Friday Beyond Spotlight. My name is Nick Chen, a lawyer and lawmaker. I'm your host for this episode. Today's guest is the CEO of Cathay Group, Mr. Ronald Lam. Ronald and his team have steered Hong Kong's most iconic home carrier to fly to greater heights, putting the COVID cloud behind us. Ronald, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nick. Thank you for having me.
How is Hong Kong serving the region and the world as an international aviation hub?
Well, Hong Kong has been a major international aviation hub in the world scene. Before the pandemic, in around 2018 and 19, Hong Kong International Airport was ranked number 3 busiest passenger airport of the world. And on the cargo front, for nearly 2 decades, we've been ranked number 1 busiest air cargo hub in the world as well. So from both a passenger and cargo traffic angle, we are one of the top airports of the world. And this is because we have a very strategic location. We are connecting China to the rest of the world,
yes,
and vice versa. And
yes,
this is the main role that we play in Hong Kong. And in fact, for Hong Kong, right, as we all know, the 14th five-year plan has designated Hong Kong with the mission of being 8 centers, like the International Financial Center. And the International Aviation Hub is actually one of those 8. But more importantly, being an aviation hub enables and supports the other 7 centers as well. So that's why I think we see a really key role that we play as an international aviation hub, which is really important to the overall prosperity of Hong Kong.
It's fantastic. What are the fundamentals that make Hong Kong such a special aviation hub? Why would so many cargoes go through Hong Kong?
Hong Kong is really strategically located. If you draw a 5-hour circle around Hong Kong, you could reach more than half of the world's population.
5-hour flight time.
Yes, exactly. And then the other thing is our infrastructure. So we have one of the best airport of the world.
I love it.
And more than that, end of this year, we will have our 3-runway system opening, which will add another 50% to our capacity as an airport. And also Hong Kong, we have really great connectivity with the wider Greater Bay Area, all the mainland cities, like through our Hong Kong, Zhuhai, Macau bridge, as well as many ferry connections with the Greater Bay Areas, rail and land as well. So I think we're really connected from an infrastructure angle. Also, we have developed our own aviation talent over the years. So I think people is a critical element as one of the fundamentals to make Hong Kong one of the leading aviation hub of the world.
And now the Hong Kong SAR government is continuing to focus on strengthening the Hong Kong International Aviation Hub through initiatives to support the aviation industry. How will Cathay support and grow with these initiatives?
Well, we are doing a lot. Actually, there are 2 missions we've been on this year and last year. Firstly, is we have to rebuild from the pandemic.
Yes.
Hong Kong only opened up early last year, but since then we've been working really hard to rebuild our flights. So currently we are running at around 80% of our passenger flights compared to before the pandemic, and 85% of our cargo capacity. And we're aiming to reach back 100% on both passenger and cargo flights by first quarter of next year. So this is really our first focus. And behind that, we have to grow our workforce by 20%, meaning 5,000 people this year alone.
Wow.
And by the end of this year, our workforce will grow to nearly 30,000 people. Another track we've been working on to support the development of the aviation hub in Hong Kong is to invest into the future. As we all know, by end of this year, the 3-runway system in Hong Kong will start to be fully operational. And we've been making preparation to invest into our future. It's mainly about our fleet as well as our cabin product.
Right.
And I'm so glad that in the next few years, each year we will have a new fleet joining us and a new cabin product to be introduced within Cathay Pacific. So there's a lot to look forward to for our customers.
It's impressive. Are there other things you're doing to maintain your premier aviation hub status, given your extensive global connectivity?
We've been working really hard also to improve our services, like our in-flight dining, in-flight entertainment, our cabin crew services are also really important elements. So like our in-flight entertainment, last year we won the Best In-Flight Entertainment Award by Skytrax last year. So this is a really encouraging award we have won.
You have just opened the first ever lounge outside of an airport at the ferry lounge at the Shenzhen Cruise Home Port. How will this impact your role in the Greater Bay Area?
This is an extended home market for us. The 9 cities in the Greater Bay Areas are all really important to us. They have a huge population of more than 80 million people.
Yes.
And they have a very young population ready to explore the world through services via Hong Kong International Airport, via Cathay Pacific. So over the past few years, we've been making a lot of investment to better connect travelers from the Greater Bay Area mainland cities into Hong Kong International Airport through air modes of travel, land, as well as sea. The VIP lounge at Sherco Ferry Pier is one of those investments that we have made, because Sherco is our biggest ferry pier with multiple frequencies of ferries coming into Hong Kong International Airport.
Yes.
And our lounges are very famous in Hong Kong. So we thought we can move our lounges also to Sherco Ferry Pier so that travelers from the Greater Bay Areas can enjoy our signature lounge firsthand when they check in at the ferry pier.
How is Cathay taking lead in contributing to reducing aviation impact to climate change so we get a more sustainable shared future?
Cathay, we want to be a leader in the industry, especially in Asia. So we are one of the first airlines in Asia who have made a strong commitment for the long run. So firstly, we have set a target to reach net zero carbon emission by year 2050. But in order to achieve that, we've also set some medium-term target. There are 2 aspects how we can decarbonize. Firstly is through our fleet and operational efficiency. And for that, we have set a target by 2030, we will reduce our carbon emission intensity by 12% compared to 2019. We are already one of the best airlines in terms of carbon emission intensity, i.e. the lowest, but we're not complacent with that. So we've set this 12% reduction target. And how we achieve that is by investing into new fleet and make sure our operations in the air, on the ground, is the most fuel efficient possible. That's one means to decarbonize. The second means we can decarbonize is through the usage of what we so-call sustainable aviation fuel, SAF. And on that, we've also set a medium-term target to use at least 10% of our fuel burn to be based on SAF by 2030. This is a very aggressive target because SAF is still maturing in terms of its supply and production. But we've been working hard with international parties as well as Chinese mainland party to scale up the production of SAF worldwide so that we can reach this target.
Walking through the Hong Kong airport, people say it's a smart airport. How intelligent and how smart?
And we've been actually applying AI in many areas of our business already. For example, in terms of forecasting for the future, in our revenue management function, we use AI to forecast our inventory and pricing. In our aircraft maintenance, we also use AI to predict the optimal time to change parts and to conduct maintenance activities. We also use AI not just on forecasting, but also in personalizing customer experience. And recently we've launched a mobile app for our frontline people, what we so-call Customer 360. So our frontline people are equipped with the relevant information about our individual customers so that they can better serve them. The third way of us applying AI is automation. For example, we've been using chatbot to answer inquiries that our customers have through the WhatsApp channel and WeChat channels. And increasingly, we are having really high success rates in terms of the chatbot being able to answer the customer's inquiry without any human interaction.
Thank you for bringing me into Cathay City. This is eye-opening. How do you help train your pilots to adhere to world international safety standards?
Well, we believe when it comes to training standard, we have the highest world standard among our pilot community. We train them through live flights, simulators, as well as on the ground as well. So I think on all these processes, we hold world-class standard. This is Captain Zhou Feng. our
Captain Joe.
Deputy
Hello.
Flight Training Manager.
Wow, pleasure to meet you. Thank you, thank you. Maybe can you show us around? This is a flight simulator, isn't it?
Yes, my pleasure to show you around.
Can I become a pilot?
Well, let's find out.
Let's find out. Okay, lead the way. Captain Fung, thank you for welcoming me to your home. This is the flight deck, right?
Yes, Nick, welcome. And also, this is my office. And as you can see, this is a full motion simulator in which we conduct many different kinds of training for our pilots of all ranks.
You're also a trainer. So how do you train and help make sure every pilot is reaching the global safety standards?
We train our pilots so that every single pilot in our company owns a part of our safety culture. We are actually a part of our safety culture. So our dedication to safety generally guides what we do to achieve a safe outcome. We also been able to draw strength from a diversified workforce. So having a diversified workforce has always been a strength, a strong point of our airline, just like Hong Kong. And in fact, by the end of 2024, this year, our pilot workforce would have achieved roughly a 50-50 ratio of locally trained pilots and pilots recruited from overseas.
Thank you, Captain Fung. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back to Friday Beyond Spotlights. We have with us today the CEO of Cathay Group, Mr. Ronald Lam. Who is Ronald Lam behind the spotlights? In this show and tell segment, Ronald will show us an item that has a special meaning or significance to him. Ronald, could you show us that very special item?
Well, many people have known me as a long timer in Cathay for more than 20-something years. But little known is that I actually spent 4 years in my career in HAECO, which is an aircraft engineering company based in Hong Kong. It was actually my first CEO role ever. I was their Hong Kong CEO, managing 5,000 to 6,000 people. A lot of engineers, mechanics, cleaners. I really enjoyed the experience, and I've done a lot for the frontline people there in terms of improving their welfare, well-being. And by the time I left, I received many gifts from our people in HAECO. And this is one of the gifts made of engine parts. They make a cannon and call it Top Gun. So I was so grateful for what they made for me.
At HAECO, have you faced any difficulties and how did you overcome them as a CEO?
Yes, these items really reminds me of the progress we made in HAECO. When I started in HAECO, time was really tough. We didn't have enough manpower. The morale was a bit low, but I worked with the team there, understanding their needs, and then we implemented a lot of improvement actions. So throughout my 4 years, actually, we have gained back our manpower, and the morale has improved. So I really feel proud to be able to improve the well-being of our people. And at the end, I think their recognition really means a lot to me. And whenever I face difficulties, I remember back the great time I had there and how I turned things around there. So it really gave me encouragement to hold on even during difficult times.
I mean, if you look at this cannon, I'm thinking, how do you align everyone behind your goal? How do you empower them to, be more productive in what they do?
Well, my role as the CEO, whether it's in HAECO or in Cathay, I think number one is that I really need to set a very clear vision to show the team where we are going as one team. Then once set, I think then I would work with the team to draw up a roadmap to reach those goals. Once we have a roadmap, then I think I will become their cheerleaders to motivate the team, to recognize the team, to walk that roadmap together to reach the goal.
Do you have a mantra, a philosophy in team building or leadership?
Well, I believe in servant leadership. As a leader, we are not there high up just controlling the team. We are there to support the team, to enable the team. So we're more serving the team to in order that they can serve our customers.
And now here at Cathay, really, your colleagues are always serving with a big smile. How do you achieve that? You can't force on people, right? How do you do it?
Yes, I think we have to respect our people. In Cathay, we believe happy employees leads to happy customers. So as leaders here, we treat our people the way we want them to treat our customers.
Some people say before you became the CEO, you had to rely on more senior people above you. Now that you're the CEO, you have to rely on people working with you. So how do you transition that? How do you make people feel they also have a future in the company and are growing with such an amazing company?
Well, firstly, I would paint a vision of the future, an exciting vision. So, for example, our Cathay Group's vision is to become one of the world's greatest service brands.
But you already are.
Well, we are
Humble,
one
humble.
of those. Getting close, I would say, but still a lot to work on. It is a really exciting vision that really motivates our people.
Yes.
And then I work with them, right, to work on the strategy and then empower them to implement the strategy so that they can get a lot of satisfaction out of the process, rather than we tell them every little step what to do. Instead, we just empower our people, let them do their own things so that we can achieve our common goal together.
How multinational is Cathay Group?
Cathay is probably the most multinational company in Hong Kong. And our unique position is about having deep roots in Hong Kong, being proudly part of China,
Yes.
and connecting the world. And this unique position actually applies to our people.
Yes.
And we have, of course, a large base of Hong Kong background employees. But in recent years, increasingly so, we have got more employees from a Chinese mainland background as well. But at the same time, we are keeping a really good proportion of international background people from all over the world. And I truly believe this is our unique position and our unique advantage that not many other companies might have. This is really our secret sauce of winning.
Are there sometimes cultural differences or religious differences? How do you deal with that in the company?
Well, diversity and inclusion is a huge topic within the Cathay Group, and we have different working groups to propel the diversity by different dimensions, like gender, sexual orientation, cultural background, etc. So I would say I think we've been doing quite well according to the employee feedback that we've been hearing. I think we embrace diversity truly as a company, as seen from and heard from our employees worldwide.
Ronald, what advice would you give to someone wanting to start their career at Cathay?
The airline industry is a very competitive and tough industry with a lot of external factors out of our control. So the industry has been pretty turbulent, I would say, over the years. But at the same time, the reason why so many of us have chosen to stay in the industry is really a fun and fantastic industry. Make sure you have a passion for travel and flying before joining, because sometimes time can get tough.
Now, Cathay is a major sponsor of the Hong Kong Sevens. Why does Cathay Pacific sponsor the Hong Kong Sevens, and how does this tournament benefit Hong Kong?
We have been a big supporter of Hong Kong's mega event. In particular, our focus has been on sports as well as arts and culture.
Yes.
For example, on arts and culture, we have a long-term partnership with West Kowloon to support their museum,
The cultural district.
their theaters, right, for people and cargo exchange. On sports, Hong Kong 7 is one of the sports events we've been sponsoring. And this event is significant. It's a signature Hong Kong event and is probably one of the most international events we host in Hong Kong. Like this past Hong Kong Sevens, we have nearly half of the audiences actually travel from overseas to come to Hong Kong. So you can see a very diverse and dynamic vibe throughout the whole event.
Ronald, do you often go to the Hong Kong Sevens?
Yes, many times. I always enjoy it.
The Hong Kong Stadium is roaring with energy, with sports-loving business executives from all over the world coming here to enjoy the action both on and off the field. What does it feel like to be the airline partner that made it all possible?
Well, we are all very proud to be sponsoring this event. In fact, we've been sponsoring Hong Kong 7 for more than 40 years already. And this is one of the most exciting annual events that brings a lot of fun and visitors into Hong Kong.
Yes.
So we are really proud to be a sponsor on that. But apart from that, we are also very big in sponsoring other sports events, both bringing in international visitors into other major sports events in Hong Kong, as well as helping Hong Kong athletes going out to Asian Games, Olympic Games to compete on behalf of Hong Kong.
What is the strength of Cathay Pacific?
If I have to name one thing, it has to be our people. As an airline, we face a lot of factors that are beyond our control. It's just like the last 3 years of the pandemic. But our people really are a very loyal bunch of people who love aviation. So even during the pandemic, most of our people have chosen to stay with us. And now they're helping us to rebuild a better Cathay than before. And in Cathay, we have this very strong, unique culture we call thoughtful, progressive, and can-do values that we all embrace. So I believe this is really our differentiator and our edge over other companies.
Now we come to our rapid fire segment where we get up close and personal with our guests. Ronald, I will fire some questions at you. Now, simply say the first thing that comes to your mind. Are you ready?
Okay.
Your favorite destination?
London.
Window or aisle?
Window.
Favorite place to eat?
Japanese restaurant.
Comfort food?
Noodles.
Guilty pleasure?
Ice cream.
Favorite pastime?
Go to the gym.
Favorite place in Hong Kong?
South Lantau.
First job?
Investment bank.
Who do you admire?
Siobhan.
Hidden talent?
I can play the bass.
One thing that you would change about yourself?
Well, to become more handsome.
Proudest moment?
Cathay being #1 airline of the world.
Nicest thing someone has said to you?
That I look great.
If you write a book, what would it be about?
About leadership.
Title of your autobiography?
A leader.
Qualities you admire most about your parents?
Kind.
Biggest fear?
Cockroach.
Biggest misconception?
That I am shy.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Do more exercise.
Legacy you wish to leave behind?
Being a servant leader.
Describe Hong Kong in one word.
Home.
Thank you, Ronald. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us on Friday Beyond Spotlight.
Thank you.